Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Just Say Guay. I'm your host, George Guay. We're coming to you from Cape Cod. Today, I make a big step in Just Say Guay because I have my first athlete coming on who's not a Providence College athlete. I have Cooper Davis on. He plays baseball for Vanderbilt University and just won the national championship. And now he is playing in the Cape Cod Summer League for the Chatham Anglers, who are at the top of the league and on track to possibly win the championship. Let's get him on the phone.
Hello.
Hey, Cooper, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. I appreciate you for coming on. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I'd like to congratulate you. You're the first athlete that's not from Providence College to come on, so making a little bit of history for me and for you.
All right, guys. No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so because most of my audience is people back home and people at school, I have every athlete do this. Just introduce yourself, what team you play for, position, maybe where you're from, stuff like that, so people can know who you are.
So my name is Cooper Davis. I go to Vanderbilt University. I play baseball team, and I'm an outfielder. And I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Okay, awesome. And it's awesome that you're playing in the Cape League now.
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. Just getting up here from the College World Series, it's been pretty fun. Been here for about, I would say, just about 2 weeks, week and a half. It's been a lot of fun meeting all the guys in Stonewall and getting on a little team.
Absolutely, can't beat it down here. So you mentioned the College World Series. I just want to ask, talk about your journey this season with Vanderbilt, and what was the feeling like winning the College World Series? It was definitely a good series and went 3 games with you and Michigan, who really surprised a lot of people, but you guys were really able to handle them.
Throughout the season, we had a couple ups and downs, but we were consistent all year. And our goal for sure was to just get to the College World Series, and we thought if we got there, we would have a pretty good chance at winning it. And the whole experience was surreal. The ability to get there and play at TD Ameritrade, and make it to the finals, and be down to we made it all the way to a 1-game showdown. So it was pretty crazy feeling when the fireworks went off at the end, and we were the champions.
Yeah, one of my good friends who actually, him and his friends at Syracuse started a sports media outlet, and they've been traveling around the country going to sporting events. They were there, and they said it was just absolutely unreal to be at. So this year you had a very good year as a sophomore. You reached base in 31 of 35 appearances. You batted .371 with 2 outs, which is very impressive. Not many players can do that. So, obviously baseball is one of those big sports where you have to keep your composure and stay in the moment. How are you able to do that so well all the time?
Just not trying to do too much. I think that was the best thing about our offensive. We had 1 through 9. Every guy was really, really good. So we didn't have to worry about putting the team on our shoulders because everybody just played their part. So I think it was very calming at the plate. You didn't have to worry that if you didn't get the job done, the guy behind you was going to do it. So I think that way we had a lot of guys have a lot of success at the plate this year. So I think that's kind of made it all relaxing at the plate.
Yeah, it definitely worked out for the whole team and you as yourself. So your freshman year, you had a tough injury and you completely bounced back and had a great season. As a college athlete, how do you stay course and keep going and stay focused on your goals even if something like that happens?
Yeah, that was really tough. My freshman year, it was batting practice. We were just getting ready to play in South Carolina. I had actually just gotten to the lineup. I hadn't played all year my freshman year. I think I only got 12 at bats or something like that. And I remember batting practice South Carolina. I just played the weekend before against Georgia. And I dove and I broke my wrist pretty good and had season-ending surgery. And as soon as the season went over, they have to cut down the roster to only 27 guys. So I had to go home, and I had to watch our team play in regional and super regional, and just seeing how much fun that was. And that just kind of motivated me to make sure that I was going to be there next year, part of the team, and there to fight in the super regional. it worked out this year. We got all the way to the College World Series.
Yeah, it's awesome that you bounced back. I mean, I got lucky with sports. I never had to deal with injuries, but I had a good friend who he had 3 season-ending injuries for soccer, and he said that it was definitely the hardest part was just watching. So it's good that it worked out. Now, I read that you're from Mississauga, which is right outside Toronto, and that you're a Toronto Blue Jays draft pick. So what was it like being taken by, the team that you probably grew up watching and rooting for?
It was amazing. I think I remember when I got picked by them. I was really happy with them that picked me. It's tough to be from Sauga. A lot of people know a lot about baseball, but the best part about it was that I was just by the Toronto Blue Jays, and all my friends kind of knew who that was. If I was drafted by anybody else, they might not know the team or who they are. So that really worked out. Of course, growing up, going to Blue Jays games, and a big Blue Jays fan. So I think that was a really cool experience that they picked me up.
Yeah. So obviously you're from Mississauga. You're from Toronto. It must have been a very interesting recruiting process for you because coming from Canada, I mean, there's so many options. You got the Pac-12, the Big Ten, SEC, which is clearly been the most dominant conference over the last couple decades. What was the recruiting process like for someone who was coming from Canada and had so many options?
Well, I mean, the recruiting process is a little different for the Canadians because we travel everywhere. So it's just like in high school, scouts don't really come see us play in Canada very often. There's maybe one tournament they might come watch, but other than that, we got to travel to Florida, and we got to travel to California and Atlanta and all those places to play in tournaments. And I played for the Ontario Blue Jays and the Canadian national team that played a bunch of games in Florida, and I also was able to go and play an East Coast Pro in Florida as well, and then play in the area code game in California. So I was able to get really lucky because it's hard for Canadians to get into those kind of scouting opportunities. So I got really lucky that Vanderbilt was able to see me enough to think they want to give me a scholarship.
Yeah, it definitely seems it's worked out so far. And so one of the things that I was impressed being down here at the Cape was seeing how many Vanderbilt guys in the gym just a week or two after winning the College World Series. And, you guys are in the Cape League. Describe what the turnaround is like, how it's really like you guys don't get that much time off. It's like you celebrate and then you're right back to playing baseball. And what's it like playing in Chatham, especially you have a teammate from Vanderbilt on Chatham as well?
Yeah, we got Hugh Fisher, pitcher for us, and the turnaround was pretty quick. It was pretty surreal. We won, and then next thing you know, the next morning we're on a flight back, and then we're in Nashville. We have a gathering of all the Commodores fans, and it was kind of surreal getting there, and you see the College World Series trophy, and you get to kind of get it maybe 2 days to reflect on the season because not only was the College World Series, you won the SEC tournament, SEC regular season, so you really didn't think about that all year. We just kind of kept going forward and just really 2 days to kind of sit back and think about the team and think about what we did and just really spend time with the guys that are leaving. We had I think 12 guys that are either seniors leaving or juniors guys that have got drafted or draft eligible sophomores. So a lot of close guys that were with that was probably the last moment that we be together as a team. So that was kind of tough to kind of go through that those last 3 days there after it's all said and done. And then next thing you know, I went home for about 3 days, and then I hopped back on a flight that got me back out here to Chatham, and then just right back after it. I think, of course, we're up here. We're trying to win a Cape League championship. They're trying to help the team any way we can, and the most important thing is that we're just trying to get better. I think that's why everyone here is here in the Cape, because it's the best league, and you play with some of the best players, and you just talk to guys in your team, talk to guys around the league, just try to learn new things. And I think that's what everyone in the Cape is trying to do, just trying to get better and hopefully in the end win a Cape League championship.
Yeah, it seems like everyone here has the right mindset and put in the work to get better. So I think obviously the biggest sport for it is basketball. Like you always think about who's played in like Madison Square Garden or the Boston Garden, Staples Center. But in the Cape League, you get a feeling like that where, in Harwich, Tim Winston pitched on the mound there, but does it add an extra feeling playing in Chatham where, you're on the same field where guys like Chris Bryant, Evan Longoria, like Jeff Bagwell have played, and so many other stars that played for other teams even?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of history, of course, in the league and the teams, and I think we're just so lucky to have coaches that on our coaching staff that played 10 plus years in the big leagues. We got a pitching coach who played 10 years in the big leagues. Our hitting coach Mickey Telson, he played 12 years in the big leagues. I mean, that's experience you don't get being out there. It's amazing to spend every single day with them and talk to them and ask them questions about their career. Things that they might have found tough, things that they like. Just being able to pick their brain for what will be probably another 3-4 weeks, and just try to learn and try to get better. And I think that's what the best part about this league, like I said, is just everyone's trying to get better. And when for the Chatham team, having a coaching staff like that is just going to make us that much better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I always came down to the Cape League, being someone who summers in the Cape, but I typically usually went to about maybe one game a week, but I think being an intern, you really realize how good everyone is, and watching BP and stuff like that. So you had a great sophomore season. The stats show it. The trophy in the end shows it, but you really kept it going in Chatham so far. How do you keep it going when it just seems like you just don't stop?
It really is just an everyday thing. I think that's the biggest difference by sort of baseball is that I guess there were some rainouts before I got here, so we've been playing every single day and just getting into the routine and coming to the ballpark every day with the same mindset, still always trying to get better and competing every single day. I think that's going to prepare me for professional baseball, hopefully in the future. Is just being able to, day in, day out. College baseball, we play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then we get off Monday, and then we play midweek Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday off. So it's not every single day. In summer baseball, it's so far for the last 2 weeks, it's been every single night for the last 2 weeks. So it's definitely a great experience for me to really learn how to be that guy and be the same guy every single night. It's one thing to come out one night and be really hot, be lots of energy, and the next night come out and be all tired and sluggish. So I think it's been really good to kind of train that, being able to bring energy every single night.
Okay. So last question. So right now you and the Anglers at the top of the Cape League. So 2 questions. How do you stay hungry to win a national Cape League championship after winning a national championship? And what would it feel like for you to win both in one summer and, win it together?
To stay hungry, it's just what we do as baseball players. I think you always want to win. Every time you go out on the field, you want your team to win. You're going to do everything you can to win every baseball game. I don't look at the standings just like at Vanderbilt. We didn't look at our rankings and anything like that. We just knew that every single night we came to the field, there was a team on the other dugout, and we were trying to beat them. And that's the same way we work at Chatham. It doesn't matter who we're playing. I don't even know who we're playing tonight, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna have to come out. We're gonna have to compete. We're gonna try to win. And I think that's what helped us at Vanderbilt. Is that we did that throughout the entire postseason, and we're gonna do that here at Chatham. It's just basically it doesn't matter who we're playing. We're gonna come out and compete and try to win a ball game. And if you just keep stacking those up and you keep competing every night and trying to beat the team across dugouts, then you're gonna be successful.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are doing all the right things so far, and the results show it. And Cooper, I really appreciate you for coming on, and best of luck tonight and the rest of the season.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Bye.
All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm George Guay, and as always, just say Guay.